Welcome back to The Last of Us Remastered. Alright,
Wow,
let's keep going.
Resident Evil got spooky again.
That's
right.
Yeah, essentially. I'll be sure to record
yeah,
it for the
that's
channel
right.
eventually when we get through the others for the first 6.
That-
Which means, of course, we have to do Resident Evil 6 first. My God.
Well, with every good franchise comes a few stinkers.
God damn
What is it with the number 6 with Capcom franchises?
I know, right?
Yeah, Smith. Yep.
Not that Resident,
Six.
not that 5 was any good either, but yeah.
Well, 5 was a turn in the wrong direction, but I could still at least like 5.
Ugh.
Okay,
Now
I'd
are
say
they
that-
talking about Resident Evil?
I can't.
or
I mean,
Ace Attorney?
I mean, I understand.
We'll never know.
I understand why 4 is liked, but 5,
5 was fine.
eh. Okay.
And if anything, it did have a neat enough story.
Whoop. Oh crap.
Whoa! Whoops.
Right, guys, don't you see? I've got it. The Naughty Dog video game universe. Joel is actually Sam, but he grew a beard and he's older.
Remember, it was already established that this is the Uncharted world, but way, way in the future after an apocalypse.
So Drake died.
Yes.
Jesus.
Well, remember, like I said, this is like a long time afterwards. So by this point, everybody's dead.
Or writhing in terror as an infected.
Oh my God, Jova, could you imagine if Nate is the first bloater we meet?
Wow.
That would be a
one
dark.
of these things.
That would be a dark twist. No, don't worry, Shira. You haven't met the bloaters yet. You'll see what they are when we get to it. I think we met the first one in part like 10, around that mark.
That would be almost as bad as how in GTA 5 you killed the one likable person from GTA 4.
You mean? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Well, the past few years have been slow. Echo the Dolphin, let's just say the Echo the Dolphin Dreamcast game didn't sell nearly as well, and have these brains as compensation.
Actually, for me, they sound more like the ghosts that you have to,
You sure
defeat
like
to
to-
open a door in one
You
of
sure
the
li-
Harry Potter games.
You sure like to pick a lot on Echo the Dolphin recently.
No, Pedro.
Because
It's
he
only
wants
with the-
to LP it.
Pedro. It's only with the clickers because they sound like dolphins.
Well,
also,
They
I
sound
was
like dying dolphins.
Well, I'll definitely be doing 2 though, because that's my favorite.
Who's doing Echo Jr.?
Ugh.
Would
No
you like?
one!
Would you like to, Deji?
No.
I'll bite the bullet. Don't worry. I'm
I'm
the
through
Echo
with
fan.
the
I'm the
Echo
Echo fan here, so I guess I might as well.
I
Well-
enjoyed it. It was just particularly difficult.
Oh no! I understand
You have
that.
trouble with Echo the-
I love
You're-
that.
you're-
No, don't worry, sure. I love Echo, but I acknowledge that it's not a game for everybody. Don't worry about that.
Echo died.
It's one of the-
Saved his
Ec-
friends and family.
Echo's-
a true dolphin hero.
It's one of those things, Shishiro. You know, one of the big things that made me love Sega back in the 90s was the fact that they were so original and ballsy to create these kind of weird, out there games that nobody else would make and shit like that.
I mean, in a way, they still kind of do. It's just that.
Aside from
Not as
Yakuza,
much as they used to.
aside from Yakuza and Sonic, what other IPs is Sega really making?
Football Manager.
Rhythm Thief.
That's not weird and out there, is it?
Rhythm
Or
Thief.
Football Manager can be a bit out there. Remember, Football Manager actually had a car appearance in
Oh, really?
All Stars Racing Transformed.
We got a fucking crossover with Puyo Puyo and Tetris.
Nah, that still doesn't scream 90s Sega to me, honestly. I mean, Freedom Planet, now that's 90s Sega.
No, that's supposed to be a homage to
Yeah.
all Sega.
Like, what-
Silly story and bad voice acting. Yeah, definitely.
Sony's Japan studio is the one that really took over as the studio that always makes these weird, deliciously weird off-the-wall games like Puppeteer, Gravity Rush,
which
Last Guardian.
seems to be why nobody
Yeah.
buys them.
Greatest game of all time.
Well, like I said, Wibbs, that's how it is. Like, I think Sony at this point is used to that thing. I think, like I said before, I think Sony's strategy with Japan studios that they know that even though if the games don't sell that well, they know that the fact that they allow Japan studios to come up with these really weird and creative and games that people love, that makes people gravitate towards their consoles. They know it's part of their strategy. That's how I see it anyway. That's how I would do it if I was in their place. Because it's even though the games themselves don't sell that much, it gives value to the Sony brand and makes people gravitate towards their consoles. It's a higher purpose, shall we say? I mean, like for example, like Gravity Rush doesn't sell all that, but Sony knows that there are some people that are going to gravitate towards the PS4 because of Gravity Rush 2, even if it's not going to it's going to be one of those things that people love playing creative games. So they go for PS4 rather than Xbox One because, well, yeah.
Mate, I don't think anyone's there.
Actually, they are. Tess and Ellie are there.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. You could remember, Dwebs. They can smell your flesh.
Oh shit!
That's what. Yeah, like I said before, one of the great things about the way Bruce directs the gameplay is that you feel every one of these hits. Like it's really well done.
Man, HD Rumble's such a gimmick. Don't need that.
Wait, what's a gimmick?
What?
Could you repeat that?
HD Rumble.
HD what?
The Switch's gimmick. HD Rumble.
What?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm serious. Like,
HD Rumble.
I heard you. It's just that.
Wait, are you talking about the vibration?
Yes, that's what Rumble means.
What?
Because you said that you can feel everything.
You mean because the controller? Well, actually, I'm playing with.
Well, that's been a thing with loads of controllers. Why is that a thing with just the Switch now?
No. Because they make a
he doesn't.
big deal
Okay. He doesn't like. Okay, well, Deji, that's what the vibration off option is for.
Yeah.
No. The thing is, they can do it. Like the PS3 could do it all the time. So it's like I don't know why Nintendo's making such a big deal out of. We can do HD Rumble, where you can actually really feel how many ice cubes there are in this cup.
You're talking. Oh, okay. Now I get what he's talking about. Well, that's just things marketing to satisfy the shareholders, Deji. It's a necessary evil.
That.
So it's Call of Duty goes with the whole.
Hold on. We're gonna have some dialogue.
Just a bit winded.
All right.
This way. This will get us to the roof.
Let's check how Ellie is then.
How about you, Kate? You okay?
Fine, okay.
You still breathing?
Do you small panic breath count?
Yeah.
Right. I'm okay.
There you are.
All right then.
I know this is a random thing to say, but I want someone to mod this game and make Ellie wear a Steven Universe shirt.
Why?
I think that may have already been done.
Well, you can unlock a Jack and Daxter shirt for her in.
That reminds me. Ever since Ultimate Marvel vs. 3 Capcom finally came to PC and Xbox One, the mods for PC have been going crazy with that.
Basically, you can.
What if?
Basically, one of the things that you can unlock, among the many things you can unlock, aside from the skins and stuff like that, you can unlock a Jack and Daxter shirt for Ellie and a Naughty Dog cap for Joel.
Isn't there a Jack and Daxter board game here?
No. The references are only cosmetic.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Like there's a reference in there in this way of a board game.
Oh no, there's not that I can remember. Anyway, I love the music here, by the way, that we're about to see in a moment.
What kind of mods have they done?
Let's see. Well, someone's made quite a few Deadpool mods, a few Spider-Man mods.
Wait, Joe, did you see the Samus Aran mod in Street Fighter V?
Oh,
Oh man, I have to show you that when we're done.
I really love the main melody that Gus made for the score. Like it's like I said, it's so simplistic, and yet at the same time, every time it plays, it feels effective. That's the
It suits this atmosphere so much.
like that's the mark of a great composer. The fact that he can make something so minimal and yet it makes it an impression. That's when you know a composer is great. Because anyone can, because it's easy to when you go the John Williams route, it's easy to make an impression, but when you do it this way, then it's hard. Well, since you're a musician, Jova, want to give us some insight into that?
About which specific thing?
Like I was saying that one of the great things about this score is that even though the score is minimal, when it does show up, it really is effective.
That basically the bout of like it's like certain tracks not playing often or certain tracks like showing up only once. When they hit, that helps the weight of the moment.
I was trying to say that it's easy to make an impression when you do a John Williams like score, but when you do a score like this, that's harder to make an impression on the player
because you run the risk of boring the player.
Yeah,
the incredibly big risk.
Hold on, no, let's see what. Oh, never mind. Conversation.
I like the fact that there isn't much of a soundtrack so far.
Don't worry, Shiroi. When the drama heats up, there will be music. Like one particular. Okay, hold on. Patrol the rendezvous area, ensure no military presence before moving the girl to the next safe house. Make sure the girl is well fed and in good health. Her safety is important. So yet another Firefly who got killed trying to get Ellie to the place. Go ahead, Lips.
Yeah, guys, after...
Starting to notice a theme here.
Remember...
Jova?
Remember all the trailers for, and the ad campaigns for Logan, and people were saying that kind of looks like The Last of Us and feels like it in a way?
Lips, I've said this before. Hugh Jackman as Joel. Make it happen, Sony. Make it happen.
Pedro, after having seen the movie,
we already do. It's called Logan.
Yeah,
I know. But that's the thing.
Anyway, hang on. I was going to say after having seen the movie, it'll actually really work.
It would. I mean, Hugh Jackman is perfect for this role. I would love to see Hugh Jackman play Joel. And if that movie does get made, it seems like it's in a bit of development hell right now, so it might get cancelled. Here's another example of the music. Oh yeah, and Ellie can swim. This is going to be important because in later you'll see. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I gotta be honest, guys. After seeing that really scary looking glitch in that MLB The Show game. I've developed a bit of a every time I see an awkward pattern, I'm kind of like, ugh.
All right, cutscene.
Like it's actually giving you the phobia.
Yeah.
Well, crap.
God, that's glitches so. Like I just
hold on,
Neji.
Where was this lab of theirs? She never said. She only mentioned that it was someplace out west.
What are we doing here? This is not us.
What do you know about us? About me?
I know that you are smart.
I love you.
Really? Guess what? We're shitty people, Joel. It's been that way for a long time.
We are survivors.
True.
It is over, Tess. Now we tried. Let's just go home.
I'm not.
You're so quick to give up, you know that.
This is my last stop.
What?
Our luck had to run out sooner or later. No, don't touch me.
Who plays her?
Oh crap.
Someone.
She's infected.
Let me see. You showed it to me. Oh, Christ.
Oops. Right? Give me your arm.
She's
Yeah.
very observant.
3 weeks.
not doing that.
Yes, you are. Look. There's enough here that you have to be a sensitive.
Just fucking kiss already.
Well,
That would be a bad
he's
idea.
infected, so that would be an STD.
It's kind of part of Joel's character is that ever since that happened, he kind of refuses to get close to people.
You want us to just leave you here? Yes.
Well, it's not like it was too late for her, so.
One of those things.
Well, can you hug?
Desi, she's already turning.
I wouldn't risk it, honestly.
Alas, poor Tess, we hardly knew you.
I think honestly,
We knew her
I,
well enough.
Really, we hardly knew her.
I disagree. I think the game did a really good job in showing us what kind of person she is through her actions, rather than having some kind of expositional dialogue. Right? And like I said, the actress playing Tess, she perfectly owned this scene. Like she delivered her lines flawlessly.
Hey, I guess you can say that she tested Joel's patience.
Well, that's the common complaint I see with Tess. She's in the game for like half an hour and then.
Well, it's not like the game. Well, it's not like the game makes this big, epic, dramatic moment about her death. I mean,
Well, Dwebs, welcome to horror.
I mean, if the game made some kind of big tear-jerking moment with sad music, then I would understand. But it's not like the game focuses that much on it.
And there's the gunfire. And there she goes.
Well, she's dead.
Oh well, moving on.
Come on, Dwebs. Shira seems like she cares. So be considerate.
That's actually so. That's two characters who we know for like a few minutes now, and they die.
Well,
This game's
Yeah,
cursed.
but like Pedro said, they didn't make it out to be a big thing. They just kind
No, I
of
was
got
just
it
gonna say
over with.
this game's cursed. We know characters for a few minutes, and then yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah, I
the
think
characters were sad, sure, but for us, like the game wasn't telling us like be sad.
No wonder this
Kind of.
game's called. No wonder this game's called The Last of Us. There's so many characters die. Eventually, there's going to be the.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we're in an apocalypse with
Well,
a
considering the
worldwide
kind of world we
infection.
live
I mean,
in,
you should
yeah.
expect people to die.
And one thing that okay, here's the new weapon, the hunting rifle. This weapon is really powerful and can actually kill clickers on one shot. However, as you can probably guess, ammo for it throughout the game is limited. So yeah, don't get trigger happy.
Define limited.
As in, you don't get that much of it throughout the game, which makes sense.
Like I said,
The game is balanced in a way where the more powerful the weapon, the less ammo you can get for it, which makes sense considering the kind of world we live in. But go ahead, Jova.
think of it like Pirates of the Caribbean, Dwebs. Save your shots.
Or as in this game would say, make
Whoa.
every shot count.
Well, what few shots actually happened in those movies?
Well, for good reason, at least in the one.
Here we go.
Because Disney.
This is
There are a lot of guns
It was actually
around,
a story
you know,
reason.
This is actually
Yeah.
one of the hardest stealth sections in the game. Well, sections in general, because you can just not stealth if you don't want to, especially because you have the hunting rifle now. But yeah, when it comes to stealthing, this is one of the hardest sections in the game because there's a lot of soldiers, not just here, but in the floor that we're going through down now. So yeah, if you get a situation like that, like I just did, where I've managed to find a soldiers alone here with no one else seeing, make sure to take them out, because that's one less person that can spot you.
Move his body.
Yeah.
No,
It's not that edgy.
you cannot move the bodies like in Metal Gear, no. But one thing you can do is just like in Metal Gear, if someone does spot the dead body, you can take advantage and get them from behind while they're distracted. So you can also kind of use the dead bodies as a trap of sorts.
I thought you were gonna say if we could say suck them up into a vortex.
Like I said in the first part, the gameplay of this game can be summed up with a mix of Uncharted with Metal Gear Solid 3.
Why 3 specifically?
Because much like because you have limited stuff that you can find.
That survival thing.
Usually in Metal Gear, you have weapons that are either given to you by the Colonel, or you get them from enemies. Well, you can get them from MGS3 as well. But in MGS3 specifically, ammo is much more limited to you because you're in a jungle, and you have to feed on animals from the jungle and stuff like that. And you also have to heal yourself if you get injured and stuff like that. So yeah, it has basically it's a mix of survival, stealth, and action, just like Metal Gear Solid 3 was.
Metal Gear. Joel.
And in case I haven't explained it, by the way, did you notice how earlier you heard a whoosh sound effect, like right now? Yeah.
Basically, Gustavo had to record this with the window open. It was hot in the recording studio.
What it actually is whenever you're probably when you're getting near the field of vision of a specific guard, the game will warn you so that you don't get ambushed without having a chance to get back to hiding. So that's what that whoosh sound is for. So be sure not to play this game mute because that whoosh sound can be your lifesaver a lot of times.
Joel, the Fireflies, they're building something. A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
They call it
Salanthropus?
No, they call it the Firefly weapon. They're really shit at naming things.
I mean, no. We have to go for the judge. Did you just ignore?
Oh come on! How did the guard not see Ellie?
No, remember, Dwebs. In Naughty Dog's games have this thing where they don't have the enemies either attack or see the partner because otherwise the whole game would be a gigantic escort mission. And let's face it, nobody likes escort missions.
No. Wait. Since we're going for the Josh Wheaton theme, what should we call it?
Wait, the Josh Whedon thing?
Because Fireflies is a Josh Whedon show.
Oh yeah, Firefly.
The Vampire Slayer.
There we go.
No, we'll call it Project Angel.
Maybe. Sure.
Go.
There you go. See, you just noticed that body, and now I can hit him from behind.
Sir, I picked up.
I'm sorry. What was that you were saying?
Respond, Orange Free. Respond.
Fortunately,
I told you I'm not responding to the goddamn Orange Free name.
Fortunately, they don't have walkie-talkies with them, so we're cool.
But I named you after my favorite fruit.
All right. Like I said, this is one of the hardest sections to stealth your way through, and you're about to see why. Because in the floor below, there's a shit ton of soldiers.
Hey, would you ever be known as Satsuma One?
Or Tangerine one.
I could think of so many other food names.
All right then, and there we go.
Joel, how are we gonna get out of here?
Hey, fellow guard, do you hear people talking?
No, it's fine. Just like we didn't hear that really loud music the other day.
Do you take fall damage?
If you fall from a really high fall, yes. It is. There is fall damage. There aren't that many situations where you can get fall damage, and so don't worry about that.
Oh god, it just reminded me, Pedro. You know the Phantom Menace video game?
Oh wait, there's a problem with fall damage in that one.
Basically, even if you're a Jedi, you can die from falling at too great a height.
What? Well, that's a shitty Jedi if I've ever heard of one.
Yeah.
No, Jedis can survive large heights.
Oh, I must have forgotten to edit out that restarter counter.
Hell, you can die from platform jumping.
It's okay. That's okay. It was the only one that I kept in though.
Which is great coming from the guys who made such classic games as Celebrity Deathmatch and The Simpsons Wrestling.
So basically, it's a company that only makes licensed games.
Well, they were the only 3 games they ever did.
Gee, I wonder why.
Not to mention the PS1 version, even by that console standards, looked ugly as hell.
Alright, so we have to get to the door, but like I said, there's a shit ton of soldiers in the way, so this is gonna be tricky.
Can you imagine if Joel thought Ellie was an intruder by using that vision thing?
Oh god.
Yeah. No, Joel, it's me.
Whoops.
What are you doing?
It's-
What are you doing? Your eyes malfunctioning?
It's okay, Ellie. Fortunately, you're a Naughty Dog side character, so you're immune to enemy fire, to friendly fire, sorry.
What about Daxter? We don't talk about him.
Also, there's nothing friendly about this fight.
Yeah.
Alright. What do you guys think? Should I just book it?
Do what
Maybe.
Pedro, do what I would do in this situation.
Fuck it. Fuck
Run.
it. You know, if I was able to get close enough, I'd probably feel like legging it, but that's probably a stupid thing to do.
Well, if you're playing on if you're playing on easy mode, yeah, you should be fine. But if you're playing on realistic mode, no, don't even bother.
What mode are you playing on again?
Easy mode, for the sake of making the
Okay.
recording process easier for me. I have beaten the game in a harder difficulty. It's just that when it comes to recording the game, it's much easier if I just play on an easier difficulty. Otherwise, there'd be so much editing that I'd have to do. That'd be a pain.
So you've beaten it in realistic mode?
No, realistic mode is way too hard for me. Because in realistic mode, you pretty much die with only one gunshot. So
Oh
it's
god, they really went for it then, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
it's a mode for those who mastered the game, basically.
And I'm pretty sure in this kind of situation, if you gun
All
one
right,
of them down, they'll all
let's
stop.
go,
you.
and we did it. We didn't. Haha. See, this is how you do it.
Yay!
Yes, a lesson that I will promptly forget about.
I'll use an expression from my country, Dwebs. Make sure that you learn, because I won't be around forever.
So, when are we gonna climb a giant flight of stairs?
Uh,
Seems like edgy.
oh crap.
So we weren't quite inconspicuous there.
No, Shiro. That's scripted. You're always going to get ambushed by that tank every time you play.
Oh, okay. Also, this
Hold on.
situation and these narrow... No.
So yeah, we now have irrefutable proof that she's immune. Go ahead, Shiri.
And all I was saying was, like, with these narrow hallways and this situation, they're not a nation at all.
Well, this game is actually kind of another thing in terms of Naughty Dog's games ever since Uncharted 1 is that in this game, Neil and Bruce, and they later would bring this to Uncharted 4 as well, compared to Uncharted 1 through 3, the environments are quite much... Oh, crap. Let's try this again. Anyway, what I was saying was... One of the things about that Neil and Bruce introduced with this game is that compared to Uncharted 1 through 3, the environments are quite wider than those games. There's quite a few areas that can be quite wide, and of course, like we've been seeing, Uncharted 4 would bring forth even wider spaces. So they've been trying to expand upon and make sure it doesn't feel quite as restricting as the earlier games. The games are still linear at heart, don't get me wrong, obviously, but they do a good job, and especially in Uncharted 4, of having quite a few hidden goodies for those who are curious enough to explore. Boom. All right. Let's see. All right, I guess we'll have to go for the... Okay, guys, want to go on a train ride?
Sure.
Sure, I like trains.
All right, let's see.
They're good for naps.
They are, yeah. All right. In the meantime, let's see. No, nothing to craft. Moving on. Well, this must have been a kick-ass train back when it worked.
Don't you see, Pedro? This is the train that went to the museum after being a set piece in Uncharted 2.
I guess, yeah. Anyway, yeah, like Ellie just said, she
God,
can't
don't
swim,
get-
so there's gonna be certain sections like these where we have to kind of help Ellie get across a body of water. Yeah, yes, Denji, go ahead.
Jova, don't give Game Fury any ideas.
Ugh, God.
Did you guys see his video that the
I don't watch
cars
Game
from-
Furious. I don't like that channel.
Wait. Let me just say this. The cars from the Cars franchise aren't really cars. Instead, they're insects with a car skeleton. So Cars takes place. Cars is a sequel to A Bug's Life. I
Don't
shit
you
not.
dare
You
ruin
see,
that movie for me.
You see. This is it. See, at least Jova's
Well,
theory.
right.
At least Jova's theory makes sense. I mean, like seriously. Ugh.
We need to watch that video because I cannot believe it's wow.
And also, Jova, they started dragging Gasta's name through the
Ugh.
Wait.
Regiment.
Whose name was?
They've, WD Gasta, they've gone back to visit that.
Really?
Yes.
Well, come on. That's already a bunch of theories already, to the point where he might as well be a character still.
So yeah, unlike in Uncharted, you can actually swim in this game. And just like this game has a life bar, and like Uncharted also has a breathing bar. So basically, don't stay underwater too long. Well, crap. This is gonna be hard finding something for Rally to cross. Alright, let's try here. Ugh.
I
Ellie?
had to turn the lights off to get a good view of anything, and it's still not good.
A good view of
That's one of those.
a good view of what? Sorry.
Of anything in this area.
Well, yeah. Don't worry, Shiro. I will be back in a place with plenty of light after this.
Also, I like how nobody scoffed at the fact that we're in a sewer level. Like,
As far as sewer levels
Almost.
go, as far as sewer levels go, this is pretty tame. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of times where we have to use wooden planks to literally carry Allie across a river or any body of water, really. Fun fact that I can say this because it's don't worry, it's not a spoiler of any kind. Fun fact: they imply there's kind of an implication near the end of the game that Joel plans on teaching Ellie how to swim. So I'm actually really curious to see if by part 2 she can swim.
And if she doesn't, Joel's a terrible teacher.
Well, Joel's never claimed to be a teacher,
All right.
or
a
indeed a
terrible
really
father.
decent person.
I'll speak my case on that when we get to it.
No. That's the thing.
Are we talking about-
Joel's always claimed he's an arsehole.
Yeah, true.
I
oh,
mean,
Joel is an asshole.
And you know what the funny thing is? He's one of the few people that actually lives up to it.
Yes.
He's
Oh,
not saying
yes,
not to
he
be.
does.
He
he's
does.
Well,
not saying-
at least it's not a David Fincher character.
oh god.
I thought David Fincher characters were all about admitting they were a-holes, but
No,
lying
that's
about it.
that's just the thing, Jova. David Fincher apparently thinks that asshole characters are perfectly fine to feel sorry for.
I really
Well,
need to see Don-
technically, it can be done. I mean, Clockwork Orange, Fast and Furious proves that it can be done, but you really it really has to be done with very specific circumstances.
Oh,
Pedro.
trust me. Once upon a
Pedro.
time, the
Oh,
show was all about
hold
us.
on, guys, just a moment.
But Pedro, that film has such wonderful dialogue because you've got a world-class vagina.
Ugh.
Anyway,
All right, hold on. This scene is kind of important a bit.
Hey, look, I don't even know.
Here's how this thing's gonna play out. You don't bring up Tess. Ever.
Until the sequel.
So yeah, it's very obvious that Joel is not. Actually, it's one thing me and Joel have in common. We're not good at dealing with grief. Because when I lost my grandmother, I was kind of the same thing. Whenever someone would try to talk to me about it, I kind of I don't want to talk about it. So I can actually relate to Joel a lot in this scene, actually.
Good. There's a town a few miles north of here. There's a fella there that owes me some favors.
Like I said, I won't speak my case about the ending until we get to it. But I will say this now: we do get these signals that it is really part of Joel's character. He's not good at dealing with this kind of stuff. He's very how should I put? What's the right word for it? He's not good at the point is when he gets emotionally invested in something, he loses this serenity. I'll go with that.
Now we're walking through
And look at the,
a
like I said before, another one of the great things that I love about this game is that even though it's a dark and gritty game in a post-apocalyptic world, Naughty Dog did not fall into the trap of making the things look
Everything
brown.
gray, brown, and black, and
You know what the funny thing is? For a post-apocalyptic world, it looks actually beautiful. Well, nature does.
Well,
nature still carries on, I'm sure.
It does, yeah.
As pretty post-apocalyptic world can look.
Oh yeah. Like I said, this, as you're going to see in the next part, this is actually one of the most beautiful looking sections in the game. Anyway, everybody, in the next part, we're going to see if we can find someone that can give us some kind of mode of transportation, because otherwise this is going to be a very long game. So
Yeah.
see
All right, see ya.
See you in the next part.
Yeah.